So now we'll move on to the capital structure ratios, which is also called as long-term solvency ratio. So what are capital structure ratios? They are also called as gearing ratios, solvency ratios, or leverage ratios. So these are used to analyze the long-term solvency of any particular business concern. So there are two aspects of long-term solvency of a company. First one, ability to repay the principal amount when due, and then regular payment of interest. So these are the two objectives as to why we calculate capital structure ratios. Firstly, to find out whether the company is able to repay the principal amount and also the interest amount regularly. So the first type of capital structure ratio you have is debt equity ratio. So this ratio, it measures the relationship between what? Long-term debts and shareholders' funds. So, or it measures the relative claims of long-term creditors. So let us discuss the formula. Debt equity ratio is equals to long-term debts divided by shareholders' funds or shareholders' equity. The other formula will be external equity divided by internal equity. Let us now discuss what are the components of long-term debts and what are the components of shareholders' equity. So long-term debts. So long-term debts includes debentures, long-term loans, which is raised from any financial institutions. Remember, debentures and long-term loans, long-term debts. Shareholders' funds includes share capital. It includes both equity and preference share capital, and accumulated profits, which may be in the form of general reserve, capital reserve, or any other fund that belongs to the shareholders. So from this, that is share capital plus reserves, you have to deduct past accumulated losses and deferred revenue expenditures like preliminary expenses, which should be deducted while computing shareholders' funds. So shareholders' funds is equals to equity share capital plus reserves and surplus minus deferred revenue expenditures. So this is a formula. The second formula you have is debt equity ratio is equals to external equity divided by internal equity, which I discussed earlier. So what does this total debts include? Debentures, sundry creditors, bills payable, bank overdraft, short and long term loans, outstanding expenses, taxation provision, and proposed dividend. And internal equities refers to shareholders' funds, which I have already explained in method 1. The capital structure ratio is called as proprietary ratio. So this proprietary ratio, proprietary means shareholders' funds, shareholders. So it measures the relationship between shareholders' funds and also the total assets. So what is the formula? Proprietary ratio is equals to shareholders' funds divided by total assets. So here they have mentioned that a high proprietary ratio indicates greater long-term solvency. So if the proprietary ratio is high, then the long-term solvency is also very high. How do you identify? It means that the proprietary ratio should be more than 0.75 if it is in terms of decimal, or more than 75% if it is expressed in terms of 100. If it is expressed in terms of 100, you can write it as into 100. So 0.75, if it is more than 0.75, it is greater long-term solvency, or if it is 75%, we can decide that it is a greater long-term solvency position of the company. Shareholders' funds, as I have already told you, it includes equity share capital, preference share capital on all reserves and surplus less fictitious assets. Total assets includes what? All tangible assets and only those intangible assets which have a definite realizable value can be included under total assets. Third type of capital structure ratio is interest coverage ratio, which is also called as debt service ratio or fixed charges coverage ratio. So this ratio indicates whether the business earns sufficient profits in order to periodically pay off the interest charges. That is, this ratio is calculated to know whether the profit earned by the company is sufficient enough for them to pay the fixed interest charges. So the formula will be earnings before interest and tax, EBIT, divided by fixed interest charges. So this is a formula for calculating interest coverage ratio. So now the next one you have is capital gearing ratio. So this is the ratio between the fixed interest bearing securities and equity share capital. So the formula will be fixed income securities, that is fixed interest bearing securities, divided by equity shareholders funds. So it is equity share capital. So do remember, we have to show only equity shareholders funds. So a company is highly geared if the ratio is more than 1. And if it is less than 1, it is low geared, and if it is exactly 1, it is evenly geared. So fixed income securities includes what? Debentures and preference share capital. Why? For the debenture holders, we have to pay interest, and for the preference shareholders, we have to pay regular dividend. So this is the formula for capital gearing ratio. So with this, we come to the end of the discussion of the capital structure ratios. So now we'll start working out the problems on capital structure ratios, and this photocopy is also there with you students. So this is the balance sheet given. So they are given you goodwill, plant and machinery, land and buildings, stock in trade, investments. Then you have cash at bank, and then stock in trade. Then we have equity share capital, preference share capital, general reserve, profit and loss account, debentures, sundry creditors, and outwages outstanding. They have asked you to calculate debt equity ratio and proprietary ratio. I have discussed two formulas for debt equity ratio. The first formula is outsiders funds divided by shareholders funds, and then the other one is external equity divided by internal equities. So then proprietary ratio is equals to shareholders funds divided by total assets. So let us go apply these items in the formula. So first one, debt equity ratio. So debt equity ratio is equals to long term debts divided by shareholders funds. So in this problem, let us find out which are the long term debts. So long term debts, you just look into the liability side of balance sheet. You have only one item, that is debentures, 9% debentures, and then divided by shareholders funds. So shareholders funds includes all equity share capital, then preference share capital, then the reserves, all types of reserves, profit and loss account. So add all these four items, then you will get 3 lakh. So substitute the values in the formula. So how much is long term debts? 1 lakh divided by 3 lakh is equals to 1:3. The second formula that you had is debt equity ratio is equals to external equities divided by internal equities. The other name for external equities is nothing but total debt. So total debt includes long term debt plus current liability divided by shareholders funds. That is, total debt is nothing but external equities, shareholders funds is nothing but internal equities. So external equities is equals to long term debt plus current liability. Long term debt, you have only debentures, plus current liabilities. What are the current liabilities you have in this problem? Sundry creditors and wages outstanding. So you show the sundry creditors and wages outstanding. So you will get 2 lakh divided 2 lakh is the total debentures and current liabilities divided by shareholders funds, which you have already calculated here, shareholders funds. So how much is shareholders funds? 3 lakh. So divided by 3 lakh is equals to 2:3, or you can express in terms of decimal. Next one you have is proprietary ratio. Formula is shareholders funds divided by total assets. So shareholder funds, which we have already calculated, is rupees 3 lakh divided by total assets is nothing but the total of balance sheet that you have. So 5 lakh. So divided by 5 lakh, it is 3:5. And here you note down here in the balance sheet, students, stock in trade they are given twice. It may be any other item other than stock in trade. So don't be panic regarding this. So with this we'll complete the problem on long term solvency ratios or the proprietary ratios and debt equity. So now we will work out problem on interest coverage ratio. So from the following, calculate interest coverage ratio. So profit after charging interest on debentures and tax. See here, after charging interest on debentures and tax, it is 25,000. How much is interest charged? 5,000, and tax provision is 10,000. So what is the formula? Interest coverage ratio is equals to net profit before interest and tax. But what the profit is given in the problem, it is after charging interest on debentures and tax. So for this we have to add interest and tax. So for 25,000 is the profit. To this we add 5,000 interest and tax of 10,000. Then 40,000 is the amount that you get. This is the amount which is before interest and tax divided by interest charges. How much is interest charges? 5,000. So it is always expressed in terms of times. So it is 8 times. So this is about the interest coverage ratio, students. So with this we'll complete the problems on capital gearing ratios, which is the second type of ratio.